Today is August 14th, 23. I still hear the riffraff off in the distance. You know, even after the last few days, Saturday, some idiot went to say something to me in Walmart, and some girl said, "Don't say anything to her." I heard it was just her ex-husband's girlfriend's drug friends doing it to her. None of this is funny. See, and then I looked it up on Google. What would it be called, considered for taping somebody unaware in their home with button cameras? Peking Tom. They're Peking Tom tapes. Peking Tom. It's called voyeurism. And then stalking. Now, is Peking Tom tapes admissible in court? No. You can't be hired to be a stalker and a Peking Tom. Yesterday, then I had went out to eat to Red Lobster. People were in there talking. The people that helped out in this, they all can go to jail for being child molesters. And they admitted, we all know they admitted of putting a shower scene in the other room. They were taping in the bathrooms. And those kids went potty. They taped little children going potty. They can all be registered child molesters for this. Duh. Duh. Do you know if you're found being a Peking Tom taping somebody with button cameras in their home and stalking them, you're a registered sex offender for the rest of your life. See, that's where, how could those two agents online on a recorded line, FBI line, laugh about They were Peking Tom tapes, stalking tapes done by your husband's girlfriend's dad and drug friends. A drug scam walked into an FBI office, a sextortion scheme. And they're laughing at me for I'm listed an informant that they have been in contact with Pete. Who's Pete? Dave's girlfriend's dad that he hired on his own and their drug friends to drug me up and frame me. Yeah, some guy drove by me. Nobody better say a word. I found out they're freaking Peking Tom tapes. And they're laughing about some freak stalking women in their home. He's a serial rapist, too. Do you realize how mentally ill Michelle is? Where her mother bragged they met in a store in Ravenna, where Dave hit me with a board in the face on the third day and runs off to the store. They meets her. By the sixth day, her dad and her drug friends kick in my door and set up button cameras, start stalking me. They went out once. Once. Within a few days, I'm trying to mow the lawn. I'm covered in bruises, throwing up, severe personal infection. Here I'm being drugged, beaten, raped in my home. She's doing this to her new boyfriend's wife. Date rape, drugging me, telling me to say stuff, photoshopping shower scenes, because she's mentally ill. It's a drug scam. It's called sextortion. You break in and tape somebody unaware. You tape shower scenes, move it over to the other room. It's sextortion. Trying to get money out of it. Andrew Arabic in Ravenna is in jail for not as quite as violent of a scam, but by photoshopping pictures and putting them in videos of victims. 12 years federal. Why is he in jail when these people are actually breaking in people's homes? Photoshopping them, selling them. Like those kids said, they were admitted to a shower scene in the other room. They taped those kids going potty. They had kiddie porn. Where would those agents think it's funny that some Peking Tom is stalking women and drugging them up? And photoshopping scenes and giggling. That they were already in contact with Pete. Who's Pete? Dave said he hired Pete on his own, his girlfriend's dad, and their drug friends to frame me because I didn't die on the 4 attempts. And their fake sodium pentothal reports. The amnesia drug so you're sleepwalking. My coworker, Dar, she went to a bar. She went to take a drink out of one drink. Started acting a happy. Group of people came up and she's talking real nice to him. Her friends said they didn't think anything of it. She left with him willingly. Found herself in a puddle of pee. throwing up, dizzy, heart racing, sick, messed up for over a day. They had raped her. She's raising somebody's kid that she doesn't know who raped her. She didn't even know she left with him. She didn't know she talked to him. I talked to a sheriff about those date rape drugs. He said those amnesia drugs are so bad, they control everything you say and do until the point that they could have drugged up the people that took down the towers, told them to do it, and they did what they were told. You're under somebody else's control. My neighbor, Mike, drove around high all night. Didn't know he went to a bank. Didn't know he went out to eat. He started finding money in his pocket. I haven't checked in his bank. I don't know how I got home. How did I change my shoes? And he's freaking out. He don't know what happened to him that whole night. He was out sleep driving. That's how not funny those roofies are. There were fake sodium pentothal reports. They were amnesia drugging me, beating me, raping me, swollen personal infection. Seen by Altman family physicians for bruising, heart racing, massive headache, almost passing out in a severe swollen personal infection. They gave me iron pills for the bruising, and here I'm being beat, drugged, and raped in my own home. And they're not realizing people are violating me. And those two agents, before I'm listening to informant, are giggling about Pete's tapes. I told you, if you even go up to Apostolic Church of Barberton, now everybody knows, because I sold a login. It was verified by officers. So the agent that called me back was the one that told on me to that church the night before. Where Paymer went, my God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off, and they come up and said he knows she's being drugged, being raped, said he didn't care. I walk off, and they come in behind me and say it again. And said if she was going to be faking she was sick and faking she got well, that family was grieving. He didn't care what they were going to do to her, and he was going to turn her back over to him. He opened my case under fraud to steal from the FBI. Never had an intent to help me. I was up here in Hartville on Friday, and some lady, I went to the hardware store to get some lemon drops because my stomach was upset. And they pulled in and said, Will said if she was going to be faking she was sick and faking she got well, that family was grieving. He told nobody was allowed to help her. And we found out it was a medication error. And that none of this is funny. He let all this stuff happen here. And he didn't even know her medical record. Well, neither did Strange. Neither did Strange. He was an occult leader. He made up lies on everybody. Everybody. That he didn't like, and they were house rules, and he owned the building. And he lied and destroyed anybody he could. I told you how I got sick, had all the surgeries, went to pain management, and they sent me to all these different doctors, and falsely diagnosed, swelled up great big, had to go, brain swelling, heart getting off, adrenal gland, thyroid, everything shutting down, my legs are popping out of place for the massive swelling. Get in with Dr. Eli, gets me off all that medication, get out moving, and it took me 9 months to get well of pulling myself around. And as soon as I got off that medication, everything went down. I lost 30 pounds in 1 month. And everything started working, and I kept losing more and more weight, and I had to go pull myself around allotment stores, malls, for months and months. And it was 2 months later I got well. Strange made it up 4 months later and told everybody Dave was allowed to cheat in that church behind my back. I found out later. He did it so his friend could cheat openly. And those people where the Bible says thou shalt not commit adultery. But Strange said it's okay. He was such a crazy whack. He told people he gave back. Now Katie had an adulterous affair with my brother-in-law Tim. She also would sleep with men in the bar, but he gave her back her virginity. He prayed about it. He can't do that. He's an occult leader. He lied on Ron. He lied on Joe. He lied on Dave White. He lied on Debbie. He lied on my dad. He lied on anybody that he didn't like. And he just told the lies, and those people lapped it up like dogs. Everybody seen me go through those surgeries. Everybody seen me in so much pain I couldn't stand it. They seen me swell up like a balloon. And then they watched me deflate and pull myself around everywhere. Out driving around, pulling myself around streets, malls, allotments. See what I mean? And it was 2 months later I got well. Nothing to do with nothing. How could you even fall for it? Strange made it up. Altman Family Physicians told the officers while they were watching me in the protected custody case, it was a medication error. They should have caught it. You always blame the steroids. But yeah, they had you on so many medications, it's hard telling which one made you swell up and everything quit working. It's a good thing you got off of it. Back 20 years ago, they called it medical malpractice, and you need to sue them. Those doctors were ripping you and your insurance company off so that you had to keep coming back and writing out big prescriptions to get kickbacks from the drug companies and falsely diagnosing you to rip you off. Now they just call it a medication error. A severe allergic reaction that almost killed me. I'm going to upload this.